Namaskar, my dear students and all the viewers of GSTV. I myself, Praful Prajapati, welcome to you in an academic program Pass Thawanu Panchamrut, jointly presented by GSTV and the HB Kapadia group of schools. Students, nowadays you are busy with your exam preparations, right? There are so many questions in your mind about the question, but this is your fourth or fifth paper. I am sure that most of the questions have been solved automatically with your experience. To student, now we are going to discuss for the English paper which you are going to face tomorrow on 16th March. Students, let's discuss some important topics how to write better paper in today's examination. Students, as you know that our part A is related to MCQ type of questions. In this part, you will be asked 50 questions for 50 marks. It means all questions are compulsory, no questions should be avoided. In all these questions, students first read each and every question carefully, and you know that you will be given 4 options at the end of every questions. Read the options and questions carefully and then decide which is the most proper, which is the most appropriate answer for that question. Please remember that. Anyhow, never make any hurry darken the circle, because if you make even a single mistake in darkening the circle, after then we cannot do anything. If it is so, then you should make a small dot with a pencil in circle, and after making confirmation you should darken the complete circle. And I am sure that with your experience of in your school exams, you can write and you can perform better in your board examination. So, shake off the fear from your mind. But students, now we are going to discuss the important part, and that is part B. As you know that our part B is related to written expression description part. This part is also asked for 50 marks. Students, this is our written part. So, only what to write is not important, but how to write is equally important. Students, first remember that write every questions in that proper section, and please keep proper space between two questions. Write in neat and clean writing. There should not be any erasing, and your written expression is perfect, then I am sure that your half work has been done. Students, now we are going to some important discuss for our part B in section A. As you know that in a question 1 to 10, you will be given 5 extracts from your detailed study. At the end of every extract, you will be given 2 questions. First, read the questions and extract carefully and then decide your answer. But students, never try to write the same line from the extract, otherwise you will surely lose mark. First, try to understand the question. If your questions is asked in past tense, then your answer must be written in past tense. But if your questions is written in present tense, so in the same way your answer must be written in the present tense. Means grammatical correctness must be maintained. And please remember that sometimes some paper setter asks this extract in active form, but at the end of extract he asks the question in passive form. Then we must not copy the same line from the extract, and we have to make our answer according to question, either active or in passive voice, and then I am sure that you will get full marks out of 10. And students, After completing these 10 questions from the extract and detailed study, the turn comes from the short notes, and this is one of the most important topics for we, as it helps us to carry more marks out of 3. Students, you know that these short notes will be asked from our detailed study 1 to lesson 1 to 15. You will be given 2 essay, 2 short notes, 2 titles, and at the end of every title you will be given helping points. So use it. First, I would like to draw your attention that never make hurry to choose any short note, title of the short note. First read both the titles and both the helping points, and then decide which is the important question, which question is easier for you, which question is better for you to write, and then begin the write. And remember that you have to write your short note into 5 to 6 sentences. And I would like again to say that please don't write the short note in point wise or sentence 1, 2, 3, 5 number wise. You should write the whole short note in paragraph formation. As here we have collected some important short notes, and please refer all the short notes from the textbook given at the end of every unit. Here for your help we have collected some titles. From lesson 1 we have selected the selfish giant. It most probability to be asked in tomorrow's paper. Students, first write in margin line the proper number of your questions, and then begin in with from the margin line. You should write how was the giant selfish. You should narrate that when the giant returned to his castle, he saw the children playing in his garden, but he did not like it. He was angry. He shouted at the children angrily. The children were afraid. They ran away, and then the giant built a high wall all around the garden to protect from the children, to stop the children entering in his garden. Poor children had to play outside on the dusty roads. In this way the children were now very sad, and so our giant is called selfish giant. Please remember that you have to write your short note in 5 to 6 or 7 sentences. And don't try to write more than enough, because it will not be help. But even for a single mistake your marks will be cut. After we have selected another short notes. The title is like the shepherd's wit from chapter 2, and you write what wit the shepherd has shown to save his master's life. After that, from the lesson 3, the Indian flag, also write in 5 to 6 sentences. All these short notes you have to study carefully. There may be great possibility of asking it in tomorrow's question paper. Let's surface these short notes. The accident of Bunty. After that, how to prevent noise pollution, and the answer is also given in the textbook. The wonderful creation. Students, in this short note you have to write the qualities of mother, and we have collected such type of short notes which will be helpful to you to write the long question and also to give the short question answer. After that, the chronobiology means science of the time. Diamond, an exceptional stone. Then Julian, a courageous girl. The underwater boat. And then TS1 means time shuttle 1. Helen, a gifted learner. Students, I would again like to draw your attention that these are very important short note titles to be asked in tomorrow's question paper. So read it once carefully, and I am sure that it will be very helpful to you in tomorrow's paper. And after that, after short note, in section B, you will be asked for 2 questions which will help you to carry out of 4 marks. It will be also from our detailed lesson number 1 to 15, and the answer of this question surely will be helpful to you from the short notes. And then you will be asked the question of 2 marks from completion of lines. In this questions, you will be given a poem, incompleted poem, and you have to complete it in your way. Such as, for example, perhaps you may be asked in the same way, the fairy and then dash 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 fish. Students, first remember this poem carefully and then begin to write in the same way. The fairy went to the market once and she bought a little fish. Only these 2 lines will be very helpful to you to get out of 2 marks. And students, I would like to draw your attention that this completion of poems question will be asked from only poem number 1, 3 and 4. So read it carefully with fresh mind, and I am sure that it will be very useful to you in tomorrow's paper. After that, the turn comes from the complete the sentence. Students, in this question you will be given 3 questions, and you have to complete it from the clues given in the bracket, or it may be asked that the jumble parts and you should put into proper order, and it will be helpful to you in 3 marks. And after a short break, we will going to discuss another important question, and keep on પાસ થવાનું પંચામૃત. After a small break, again welcome in પાસ થવાનું પંચામૃત. Students, now we are going to discuss another question number 6 in part B. In these questions, you will be given a text, a paragraph, and you have to convert that paragraph according to your instructions. Sometimes it may be the instruction that convert the paragraph into simple past tense, and you have to first find out all the verbs and that words indicating time, and then you have to change your paragraph into past tense. But please remember that make underline the parts you have corrected, and then you may be asked change the text into plural or singular form. In this paragraph, students, you have to find out the pronouns and the verbs, and you have to change according to your instruction either in singular or plural. And then you may be asked change the following text into active voice and passive voice, and again you should find out the verb, the doer and the object of the sentence, and we have to convert into passive or active form, and this question will be helpful to you to get out of 3 marks. And students, now we are going to discuss our section C, writing section. Students, we have already discussed in our former episode it in very carefully, and that as in question 19, report writing is asked. You are instructed to write a report in about 80 words. first read the title carefully, and then remember that you have to write the report on the incident or program which had already happened. So, you should narrate your report in past tense, and students, it is also said that the best report should be narrated, should be written in passive voice, and please remember all this, and I am sure that you will write better, and it will be very helpful you to get more marks out of 5 marks. Then the turn comes from the short writing. In this questions, you will be asked to write a message writing. Students, in these questions, you will be given a conversation paragraph, a dialogue paragraph, and first read the paragraph carefully, then find out who is giving the message, to whom is the message being given, and for whom is the message being given, and then you have to write only the main theme of your message. Don't write all the words and all the sentences from the questions. First read and find out which is the best line to convey, and then you should narrate in only 30 words. After you will maybe also asked notice writing in this question for 4 marks. In this question, you may be asked in the write a notice for the students of 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 about a picnic to Mount Abu. You may be asked in the same way, and then you have to write first in bracket. You have to write notice in the middle of the questions. In the middle of the questions, you have to give the title notice, and then right side top you should write date, and then below the notice you should write proper title according to questions, as like the selection of hockey team, as like a picnic to Mount Abu, and then about in 40 words you have to write your message notice writing. But in this question you must narrate who is writing the notice at the end of the questions, and the date, the place, and the last date of registration should be also maintained. And then the turn comes from the reported speech. We have already discussed in our former episodes in Pastavanu Panchamrut how paragraph, how the dialogue, how the conversation should be narrated in reported speech. First read the paragraph carefully, and then find out what type of sentences it is. It may be assertive sentence, it may be interrogative sentence, it may be exclamatory or assertive sentence, and then find out who is the speaker, who is the listener, because we have to convert, we have to change our reporting verb and the words indicating time and many words according to speaker and listener. So try to write it in a best way, and we have discussed already it, so I am sure that you will write it better. Student, after seeing section C, now we are going to discuss one of the important section D. After a small break, please keep on watching Pastavanu Panchamrut. Again, welcome in Pastavanu Panchamrut. Now we are going to discuss our section D, which is important because in these questions you will be asked a 12 marks question. Students, in question number 22 you have to write our essay writing. you have to write an essay out of 2, and you should write your essay in 100 words. Students, first read both the titles carefully and also read the helping points given at the end of the title, because they will be very useful to you, and you have to develop, you have to narrate, you have to write your essay on base of all these helping points. All these helping points should be included in your essay writing. Your essay writing, you should not make any paragraph. You have to write in a paragraph the whole essay. First, the part comes introduction. The introduction should be begun with a nice line from any great person or any proverb, and then in the middle of the essay writing, you should write both types of argument, positive and negative, and at the end you should conclude your essay in a better and fine words. And now we have collected some textual essay which will be very useful tomorrow is paper. Students, let's discuss these essays. The problems of working mothers. You should write first introduction with such a fine proverb that a mother is equal to 100 teachers. And students, we should also write in the introduction that this is the age of technology and fast age, and in this age both the men and women have to work, but the mother have to work at both places, at office and at school and at home. And you have to narrate what mother has to face the problems, but at the end you have to write, yet she performs her work smilingly and happily. In the same way, the another essay is My Neighbors. It is also from your textbook. Ecosystem, my role and responsibility. It is believed one of the most important essays for your tomorrow's question. In first introduction, you should write the importance of environment, and then what is the present condition of environment today, and then what we should do and what we should not do to protect, to maintain environment. Another one of the important essay writing is trees are our best friends. These two topics, in this topic, student, you have to write first the importance of trees, and then again in the former essays what should be written and what we should do and what we should not do. Then books are our best friends. We have already familiar to this topic, and we should write only the advantages of books. My favorite festival is also another topic which will be very helpful tomorrow's paper. Then my ambition in life, you should begin this essay with a proverb such: life without ambition is like ship without sailor, car without driver, plane without pilot. And then you should write the importance of ambition in life. If we haven't any ambition, we cannot do in our life. Our ambition will be very helpful to guide, to mold our life. Then my country is also one of the important essay. My best friend, my teacher and pollution. Students, read it carefully once, and tomorrow write your paper with full confidence. Shake off the fear from your mind, and under any circumstances never lose your spirit, and feel confident, think positive, and try your level best. If there is any situation you don't know the answer, but please remember that it should not affect on your writing, it should not affect on your written expression, and then I am sure that you will get as many marks as our students of past have got in the board exams. And again, I wish you all the best on behalf of the HB Kapadia Group of School and the team of GSTV. Thanks.